I have an update for you on a story we covered a couple of weeks ago about an actual member of Congress who is definitely also an international man of mystery. His name is Republican Congressman George Santos, and his every utterance about his resume and record is now being scrutinized because almost everything he's ever said about himself is turning out to be a big porky pie, which is rhyming slang for the man he lies. So you might remember last month, a couple weeks ago, we got this video of an interview Congressman Santos did with a Brazilian podcast called Radio Novelo Apresenta. And in this podcast interview, the congressman said that he had been mugged in the middle of Fifth Avenue in New York City in broad daylight. And he said the mugger ran off, among other things, with his shoes, leaving him standing there in the middle of Fifth Avenue in his socks. He also said somebody had then tried to kill him. Because of that, he said an NYPD police escort had to stand guard at his home because he had been the victim of an attempted murder. And you know, who am I to say? Maybe. But think about it. If you were mugged in the middle of Fifth Avenue, if somebody tried to kill you, you would probably call the police, right? I mean, you must have called the police if the result was that a police officer got stationed outside your home. That doesn't just happen. After we found that interview and those statements by Congressman Santos, we checked to see if he had ever filed a police report about his alleged dramatic Fifth Avenue mugging or about being the victim of an attempted murder. Well, now I can tell you, here is what we have found out. This information was obtained by our colleagues at WNBC. It's being reported here exclusively. According to law enforcement sources, there is no known record filed with the New York City Police Department in the last 3 years showing that George Santos claimed to be the victim of a robbery on Fifth Avenue. Same goes for Anthony DeVolder, which is another name George Santos has used in the past. No police report on file for either of those names reporting a robbery of shoes or anything else in New York City. Nor is there any record of George Santos alerting the NYPD to an attempted murder against him. According to those same law enforcement sources, there is just one police report on record that mentions George Santos. It concerns an incident in 2021 where Mr. Santos's neighbor allegedly threw some garbage at him. And while nobody likes to have garbage thrown at them, in this case, I'm happy to say Mr. Santos reported that his neighbor missed. So one failed attempt by his neighbor to throw garbage at him once. Yes, there was a police report about that. Nothing about an attempted murder, nothing about a mugging, specific to his shoes or not. Our law enforcement sources checked their full log of police reports and complaints between January 2019 up to the end of last month. They tell us, to the best of their knowledge, aside from that one complaint about the neighbor lobbing trash in his general direction, but not right at him, George Santos, apart from that, had not filed a single police report or complaint to the NYPD in any of the last 3 years. Now, we reached out to Congressman Santos's office to ask him about all of this. His office told us that this isn't a congressional issue, and so we should therefore ask his lawyer. We did. His lawyer told us no comment. And look, who knows? Maybe Republican Congressman George Santos decided to deal with that mugging in Manhattan on his own. Maybe he summoned that police escort with his mind. But we checked it out, and it doesn't seem to have gone down the way you might have expected.